Just a few seconds about signals and what do we mean by signals in this class. So when we talk about a map, that's a function, for example u, that takes values on the left-hand side and turns them into values on the right-hand side. And so in this case u is a map that takes values anywhere between minus infinity and infinity and turns those values into the real number line. So this is what we mean by a signal, that it has to be defined everywhere on that real number line. So for example, here we have u of t is equal to sine of t. So no matter what value of t you choose, you're going to get a value that's somewhere within the real numbers. Likewise, you could consider a function like 5e to the minus 3t. So both of these are examples of signals, because you choose a value of t, and that t is valid for the entire range minus infinity to infinity. You could also imagine composing these various pieces together. So here we have a fairly complicated signal with lots of moving parts. We're multiplying time-valued functions by one another. This is still a signal because it fundamentally takes values between minus infinity and infinity and turns those into the real number line. So when is u of t not a signal? Well, let's look at our real number axes first. We have time moving to the right and some u of t, which is the function that's going to operate on time, in the other axis. So you might consider one example of something that's not a signal here. So in this case we have a gap where there exists some t where u of t is undefined. So in this case we no longer qualify for a signal because there are values in between minus infinity and infinity on the t-axis that have no corresponding map. So we don't know what to do with these, and therefore our lines here for this function are not a signal. Likewise, we could have overlapping bits. So here we have two lines where on the same number line t we have more than one value that it could possibly be valued at for u of t. So in this case, u of t is not a unique map, and we need a unique map in order to have a signal.